So this trade was done recently and it made me 4,700. So right now I'm going to introduce you to a very simple method of finding the perfect entry points. Your stop losses can be 2 or 3 times shorter thanks to the right entry points. I have been using this method for the last 3 years and it has proven its effectiveness in practice. In this guide for beginners, I have prepared a special checklist which we'll go through now, and you will learn how to open trades in the right place. Using the example of the most trades asset euro dollar, I will show you how many profitable positions you could close just recently. In this video, you will find the best entry points by looking for trend weaknesses. I will tell you how to do it now. First, I will present you the layout of a typical trade. We will have automatically marked key zones of interest. There are resistance levels and support levels. Next, we have any kind of trend, whether it is an uptrend or a downtrend. And the point is that in the key zones of interest, we have moments of trend weakness. These moments can be absolutely invisible on such senior time frames as 4 hours or such time frame as 1 hour. But if we switch to the 15-minute time frame and see the picture in more detail, then here we can already look for trend weaknesses, on which we will open a trade. What these weaknesses are and what they look like, I will tell you now. Be sure to watch this video carefully. So let's move on to one of the first point of our checklist. It is opening a position with a sniper entry point. The first thing we need to do is to identify the zones of interest, and the outer level indicator will help us with this. On the TradingView platform, you go to the indicator panel and write the name, support and resistance. This indicator is from the chart prime author. You add it with a simple click, and now you need to adjust it a little bit so that this indicator on the older time frame, such as 4 hours, 1 hour, works a little bit more correctly. I change the period from 20 to 40. This allows me to find more global and important levels on the chart. You should still have a basic understanding of how levels work, because with the help of the current indicator, I have no problem of identifying the resistance zone and the support zone, which are at this level. These are important areas where we will now look for trend weaknesses, then will allow us to open a position with a very favorable entry point. The only thing is that we don't have a confirmed resistance level here at the top because it only has one touch. So I will move it a little bit lower into this area, because this is the area where we had a lot of volume. I mean, here we had the most selling because the trend reversed from this point, and now we can turn off the indicator from chart prime so that it doesn't interfere us. Once we have marked the key zones of interest, the next step is to switch to the younger time frame. It is 1 hour, to track the interaction between price and our key levels. Let's rewind the chart until price starts interacting with one of the zones of interest. So as we can see, price has now approached the upper boundary, and our next step is our checklist will be to look for trigger zones for trend reversal. Well, today I'm going to use one tool to determine trend weakness, and that's a trend line. Right now I can start drawing different trend lines through a few major trend points. These are the places where we have price turning around. We can switch to the 15-minute time frame for more accurate trend lines. My friends, remember, only the 15-minute time frame relative to the older time frames gives you real control over the situation, because at the current moment I can draw several trend lines for myself, or draw them through several different tops, and see in advance the very weakness in the upward movement. So let's watch for a while longer. Right now I see that we have a breakout of the first trend line. This breakout doesn't count because we haven't touched our major zone of interest. And now, after touching the 4-hour zone of interest, I can consider a downside position with a very short stop for the maximum of this trend. It's almost certain that this will be the maximum, and the target of our moment will help us to determine the next indicator, which is called imbalanced zone. Also click on it once, and all the major important zones that the chart can reach and must reach will be marked on your screen. I see a very tasty zone of interest at the bottom. Here we also have a horizontal level, which I must simply update. Therefore, the target of this movement with a very short stop will be this zone. We have an excellent risk-reward ratio. Even if we get a stop loss on this trade, I will easily recap it with the next trades. Unfortunately, it turns out this way. I fixed all my trails in my Telegram channel, and unfortunately on this trade we lose 2000. I had a position open for sale with 10 lots, and here we get a stop loss, but my friends, this is actually not as bad as it may seem to you, because at this point I realized that we have another good opportunity to open a trade for sale. Immediately after the first trade is knocked out by my stop, I have a bearish engulf pattern forming right in front of my eyes, and I post a signal on my Telegram channel that I'm going into a buy trade. Let's also place a stop loss and take profit according to our targets, which are all the same. We also have a 1 in 5 trade. It is a trade with a perfect risk to profit ratio, and let's see how this trade closes. So this trade was done recently and it made me 4700. So right now I'm going to introduce you to a very simple method of finding the perfect entry points. See how this position works perfectly after a while. I also posted the result in my free Telegram channel. 4700 is 940 pips, which was achieved with just one take profit. So the profit is crazy, although not so much time we spent on this trade. Before we continue, I would like to show you this position again, but already in the MetaTrader terminal. Here is this trade on the euro dollar with a profit of 4700. All the trades, as I said, were published in my Telegram channel. You can also automatically copy them, so follow the link from the description and subscribe. It is free and will help you finally make trading profitable. Before we open the next trade, we go back to our checklist. The first thing we do is switch back to the senior time frame and wait for price to interact with our zones of interest. Here we have a support zone. Let's see if the chart gets a reaction from it, because so far it is a very strong fall and I cannot guarantee that there will be a reversal from here, because compare how the trend developed and reversed in this place. You see it was gradually, and how it is moving now. As we can see, this support zone is broken through and becomes a little bit irrelevant for us. We go back to our chart prime indicator with automatic levels, and we see that we have another zone below this, maybe interesting for us. I look and really realize that this is a key zone of interest for us right now, and this is where we might be catching our next trade. Well, I'm going to turn off the indicator for now and also continue to watch our chart. We have all the local minimums being updated now, and this could be a good reason for a reversal. So I'm switching to the hourly time frame. We'll try to draw some trend lines here. Let's see if there are any interactions between the chart and the trend line. Right now we see a breakout and a retest, so I will switch to the 15-minute time frame in order to look at this situation in more detail. We have a minimum for which we are likely to put stop loss, but we need to put a take profit somewhere. For this we still return to imbalance zone indicator, which we have recently added, and here we have a great opportunity to open a trade with a take, for example up to this imbalance. Of course you can open a trade even higher. It all depends on your goals, but I believe that such a moment is quite possible. This trade has a very good risk-reward ratio. I'm not being greedy. 1 to 5 is a great trade with a great entry point. So let's see how it works on the 15-minute time frame. Wow, friends, this trade is working out just lightning fast. It's all about the fact that on this day we had a non-farm news, and thanks to this news I made 7,850 of profit. This is 1,570 pips of net profit, which was taken by the participants of my Telegram channel. Let's take a look at this trade in MetaTrader. Well, it was made quite recently. 7,850 of profit, and literally just 10 minutes to analyze this situation. My friends, thank you for watching this video. I remind you that all trades from my Telegram channel can be automatically copied by you, so right now follow the link from the description, subscribe and wait for new videos.